Welcome you back to Trading Technicals. Today I'll be taking you through an important fact of our trading, or the chart pattern of our trading, which is head and shoulder pattern. So now let's just understand why these patterns are important for us. One is it can give us the opportunity to kind of enter and exit from a stock or from a index point of view, and it can enhance our profits. So if we identify certain these kind of patterns, and as you know, end of the day, all our technicals are basis on our historical data. So let's just understand how this head and shoulder pattern works for us. Before we get into the video, just remember to subscribe our channel and hit that like button if you like this video. Head and shoulder is very important part, okay, and it's very easy pattern to understand, and this is one of our price action patterns. So we need to understand how we trade with the head and shoulder. We'll also understand how we get into this kind of trade, and what kind of things we need to understand before we get into a trade. See, look at this chart. Now it's a head and shoulder is always a reversal pattern. Okay, so just look at this. Here the stock price started going up, and now if it goes till here, okay, now the head and shoulder has to come into a pattern where it is like when you have a trending market, not in a consolidation. So look at this. From here the market has gone up till here, okay, and then the retracement happens till here, okay. When you entered here, and if you see here, now this particular place, everybody was so bullish that the market is gonna go up, that all these levels it will go up and all this thing. But at this level, suddenly the market has retraced, okay. Then the market goes up to the next level, the next high, okay. Now look at this. From here it has gone up till the top, okay. Now if you look at it till this particular point, you'll never realize that actually a stock or index making and head and shoulder, you'll not be able to make out at this particular. And from here till this point, if you just see and just ignore this part, you'll realize that till this point we will go with a higher high kind of pattern. So if you understand at this particular level, you will not understand this is a head and shoulder pattern which is getting formed, okay. And the second thing which what you have to check, if you look at it head and shoulder, when you just do one analysis here, okay. Now this is the first first shoulder which is formed, then the head is formed. At this point we don't know, okay, whether it is a head and shoulder or what it is, okay. But as a normal trader or a normal analysis, what we do is we think, okay, this is high, then the next is higher high, okay. So market is bullish, but then just a simple analysis could help us here if we just draw a trend line. And always I suggested in my first video also, I suggested that the trend line is something which will give you lots of ideas about the market. And if you just draw a trend line from here till here, okay, just connect these two parts, you'll realize at this particular level it has broken that trend line. So you get an equal idea. This actually it's broken that trend which was there, okay. Now here you will actually get an kind of thought whether our trend line is broken. Now whether this is end of uptrend. Okay, so ideally this should this particular trend line should be broken here somewhere. This is very important. Now this till this point we are not not into a mindset of that this is getting into a head and shoulder pattern. Once the trend line is broken, here our trend line is broken, then we have a doubt here. Okay, then the market has come down till here, then again market reverses and goes to the second level, second high. Okay, third high basically. Now you see this is a third shoulder, second shoulder it is formed, and here it is showing there are two shoulders, one head, okay, which has been formed. When you actually see on the charts it will look completely different, so you need to start identifying this. Now if you draw a trend line, you will realize that this, if you connect in this trend line, it will always be lesser than this. It will always try to break this trend line and it will fall from there. Okay, now how do you draw a neckline? Okay, so first is this. Now this is our neckline. Okay, now if you see first shoulder is formed, then it comes down, then it goes up, then it comes down. Generally you will see this is the kind of neckline which is getting formed. Okay, now here again it is bounced, so this will become a support. Neckline becomes a support in this particular pattern. Okay, now this is second shoulder which has been formed. Now when there are biggies who are trading on this kind of thing, they actually look at this head and shoulder pattern, and head and shoulder is a big pattern which is can show you a reversal, and there are lots of people who actually look into this kind of thing. And when we actually see neckline is getting broken, now neckline is getting broken here. Okay, and here we get into an entry for a short positions. Okay, and then once this neckline is broken, we confirm that the head and shoulder is actually weak. Okay, so look at this. These are just an explanation for you to understand how the left shoulder, head and right shoulder is actually made up. But here if you see here in this position, neckline, see generally what happens, it will fall from here and it will again try to test the necklines. Okay, now if you actually in a position, in long position, you entered here and you try to exit at this particular neckline. Okay, you should ideally exert from this particular place. You should not be continuing with this trend. And head and shoulder is the biggest reversal pattern, so we should be very careful when we trade on these kind of things. The other thing what we have to check is volumes. Okay, when we see the pattern here, okay, the volume ideally should be very high here. Okay, this particular one and this particular level, you will see the volumes are coming down, but at this particular level you will see suddenly the buyers are actually coming out and you will hardly have any buyers coming in there. Okay, and when in the third shoulder Okay, when it falls, you would see a huge short position which is getting formed. Okay, because when somebody identifies the head and shoulder pattern, definitely all the big guys will try and exit from here. Okay, and there are enough. So like I said earlier, the bigger people, they don't get into all your setups of MACDs and all this thing. They generally build this kind of patterns. And if you see here, in the shoulder, when people see this kind of position, people always avoid this particular level, because when they know this is getting formed, they know the market is gonna, and at this level, once the neckline is kind of broken, it has a huge downside. And again, a neckline you have to check, okay, if it is on the upside. Now this is a flat neckline which I have drawn here, but if you have an upper side, it's a bullish kind of neckline. The other side, if it is a downward trending, then it may be a bearish neckline. The downside is much higher. Now we just understand what all things happens in the it's just a understanding of how the left shoulder head and the right shoulder is formed. Now, why I am taking this particular topic today? Just because I have identified that there is something happening on Nifty. Now if you see Nifty, question mark is whether Nifty is forming head and shoulder. Okay, now you see the first shoulder was formed here. There's a fall here. Okay, there's another retracement which has happened, came back again, the third shoulder is formed. Now we have seen whatever we have seen on Friday. Okay, is it a confirmation that it is going to fall? And when it falls, it will fall a big time, and you see the neckline is somewhere 10,000. Okay, now this is very critical for us to understand now, because whenever we are trading on the daily basis, if you know there is something like this which is getting formed, it will be useful for all of us to kind of take these positions and trade accordingly. Now this is just for your own analysis. Okay, you can get into the further analysis and understand how the how head and shoulder patterns are formed, what all things you can trade on. But just to kind of for your analysis, can we look into Nifty going below 10,000 in next 6 months? This is a question mark. We still need to kind of wait for that neckline to be broken, and the neckline somewhere on a daily chart, if you look at it, the neckline shows somewhere around 10,000. Now let's wait and watch how this unfolds. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to subscribe our Telegram channel. Okay, and where we generally discuss about lots of stocks, lots of trading ideas, where we can all learn together and earn money from the market. That's it for today. I'll get back to you with another video on another learning. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you.